Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Isaac, and we've been. Am I wrong? Have we been winning? I blacked out for yesterday's run. Regular cane to mom. We won. Hold on. This is where you now I go back into the OBS recordings folder. Hey everybody, that's me. Oh yeah, I had that really good Mega Satan fight. Okay, regular cane to Uber mom. Regular cane to Uber mom. Dude, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, okay? This is a hard game. This is not an easy game. 4 wins in a row feels good. With random characters, I mean, they've been pretty, we haven't gotten, like, a Tainted Blue Baby, who's not even really that bad now that I think about it. We haven't gotten, Tainted Lost. It is Monday, so around 9:50 a.m., getting a good start to the day here. Reporting to you live from the center of the bomb cyclone cluster currently haranguing the western coast of the United States and Canada. It's messy out there, folks. It's, I don't want to accuse the Weather Network of clickbait, okay? And I also don't, I need to come clean. I don't actually live at, like, the epicenter of the bomb cyclones. Apparently it's just smashing the American West Coast, and then also, in particular, the western coast of Vancouver Island. All I'm saying is, over the past week, there's been a lot of marketing, a lot of bluster. Hey, bomb cyclones approach Vancouver and the Metro Vancouver area. Get your and it's not being prepared is not bad. Just let me start there. Get your generators, get those lights that you push on the light to turn them on. The dome lights. You know what I'm talking about. Get your flashlights. Download 7 episodes of Squid Game to watch offline when all the power goes out. And then we're just not seeing it. At least not yet. Now, today's supposed to be the worst of it, but it was supposed to, kind of get involved yesterday. Now, I do want to be clear, okay? One, again, I don't live in, the mix. I'm not in the eye of the hurricane. I know the eye is the safe part, but only, temporarily. I maybe am in kind of, one of the runoff areas where it's not that bad. All I'm saying, and the secondary part is that it's good to be prepared for weather events like this. I'm definitely not one of those people that's a hurricane. I don't think so, Mr. Trudeau. You can take me off my land with your, from my cold dead hands or whatever, right? I would be like, yes, sir, Mr. Trudeau, sure, okay, fine, we're leaving, sorry, haha. Either way, though, I think we're getting the boy who cried wolf clickbaited, if that makes any sense at all. First, we had a heat dome this summer, okay? I've never heard of a heat dome before. It was pretty bad. It was really hot. It was apparently, I might have said this before, but according to the weather service, it was the deadliest, non-earthquake, non-hurricane weather event in Canadian or American or North American history. It was kind of crazy, right? Because it didn't just hit BC. It was also the west coast of the U.S. again. And then 3 weeks ago we had this atmospheric river. Spoilers, it ended up just being pretty rainy, which is fine. Maybe it is significantly different from the way that rain traditionally looks on the Doppler weather radar or something. It's a bit spicy here early, huh? But it manifested essentially as rain. I don't care whether the clouds are stratus or cirrus or cumulonimbus, I just want to know what kind of coat you want me to wear. You want me to wear one of those coats that sounds like a vinyl record when it's when you scratch your nails on it, or do you want it to be made of elk fur or something like that? That's all I ask. It's the only thing that's relevant. Now we have bomb cyclones, which are also apparently there's a simultaneous bomb cyclone barrage and atmospheric river happening. Look, all I'm saying is you better take my dang house down. If it doesn't take my... It's like I mean, this has not made me the most popular person on the internet when I talk about this, but, you know, when you live in, like, an apartment building, you have to do fire safety stuff. Of course, makes sense. I don't know about you, but I've never, you know, had my apartment building burned down. So I'm thankful for the fire safety stuff, because I feel like being overly cautious is probably a benefit when it comes to that. Yikes. Well, you know, maybe we're getting closer to Beelzebub here. So I'm for it, but sometimes you end up getting, like, you know, 3 fire drills in 6 weeks, and it's just human nature. You know, by the 3rd one, you got people that are living on the 15th floor. It's like 6 in the morning. Maybe some drunk person, like, just pulled the fire alarm. You know, maybe somebody went out a door they're not supposed to go out of, because there's those doors always, like, 99% of the time, they're like, alarm will sound if you open it, and they're lying to you. They just don't want you to use it. But, like, you know, 1% of the time, maybe they actually do kick you out or sound an alarm if you exit through it. Anyway. You know, it's just human nature. People stop evacuating, or at least they slow down during the evacuation process. They're like, let me look out my window, see if there's other people outside, and then, you know, if I see other people outside, or if I look outside and the building is, you know, on fire, or I can feel, like, some heat, then I'll go outside. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying, you know, the first time the alarm goes off, you're like, we gotta go right now. The second time, you're like, you know, okay, we're still gonna go. I don't want to be like a cautionary tale. The 5th time, you're like, this is probably nothing to really worry about. Like, yeah, get dressed, take your time, put on some nice pants. We're gonna see the neighbors. Again, it's not what they want you to say. I'm just saying, at some point, you know, the bluster can end up having, like, a counterintuitive effect. But I also recognize that, to some extent, I think, you know, meteorology is kind of like a game of probability, right? You see stuff on the radar, but it can be a little bit unpredictable, maybe? I mean, I get that the idea is that you predict it, but... Okay, check this out. Check this out. You ready? Y'all ready for this? One of the best gamers on Earth. Give me the false PhD. Wait a minute, I did this with Kane earlier. No, it works. It works. False PhD means pills could be good or bad. Okay. What? The greatest gamer in the world. Oh, man, what the heck happened there? I'm not sad that we got money equals power. It's just not the way I saw that going down. Oh, man. Anyway. So, you know, maybe this episode will age like milk. You know, we'll end up getting a copious amount of flooding, and I'll be the dude who was like, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. We can do this. We have Holy Mantle. What? What the heck happened? I don't understand. I guess they don't want you to cheat the system like that? Hey, cool that that's in the game. How, like, you know, oh, you wouldn't want anybody to get, you know, half of a spirit heart of value. That's an ill-gotten gain. Maybe, like, just for optics' sake, you could at least patch in, like, a hotfix where I'm not even asking you to implement Birthright on, like, the 17 characters that it's not implemented on. I'm merely asking you for at least those characters. Can you remove it from the pool so that I don't end up spending 15 cents on something? And then have it just be like, oh, to be added later, source dude, just trust me. Okay, I apologize. Can I apologize? That was needlessly bitter, but also, come on. I try not to pull the Birthright card too often on that one, but it can be very annoying. You know, you spend your last 15 cents, you're like, oh, I bet this gives me, you know, super great pills or something. Like, I bet it gives me 2 familiars as Tainted Lilith. And then it's just like, nah, dude, don't work yet. Okay, you've chosen wisely, irrelevantly, but wisely. It's gonna be a little hot here, okay? Because we're gonna need probably to buy some HP. Don't necessarily have to go alt path yet, but I'm gonna. This is where things can get a little spooky. Just give me magic mush, we'll call it even. Okay, never mind. So yeah, reporting to you live from the bomb cyclone. If I don't make it, then I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, custody of my Super Auto Pets account, I gotta think, okay? I mean, for right now, most of my assets, if I perish in the bomb cyclone, will, of course, pass to my wife and my daughter the way that it should be. My Super Auto Pets account, I don't know. I honestly, I'm like, maybe Justin. He's been playing a lot. He's got that golden poop hat. I think he'd take care of it. I think he'd be happy to have it. My most prized possession, my Super Auto Pets login, which I think I called Super Auto Pants about 5 times, but that's funny. By the way, I'm a changed man this weekend. So you might remember, maybe a month ago, I went to a fancy deli, pâtés, you know, bespoke sausages with strange rinds, semi-soft cheeses, etc., etc. And I was intimidated. You know, at first, I'll give you the cliff notes of the story, okay? And the food was great, which is why I went back. But I said, hey, let me get some of that 12-month manchego. And then the person serving me said, that's not how it works. You just grab the cheese and then take it. And I said, okay. And then I grabbed it and took it. And then she went, oh, you have to give it to me so I can weigh it. And I was like, okay, you know, that's kind of... sorry, I must have missed this day in graduate school. I didn't go to graduate school, but, you know, you get the gist of it. Then I was like, hey, give me like 150 grams of... Sure, I deserve that, honestly. I deserve that. I can understand. I said, give me 150 grams of Pacific sea salt pork salami. I forget the rest of the story. I mean, basically, like, long story short, everything I did at this deli was wrong, okay? But they didn't give you, like, a preamble for how to do it. I've been to delis before in my life, you know? I've been to the deli counter. I felt shamed like I had just gotten embarrassed at a home game, right? Like, this is my crowd at the deli counter. All of a sudden, I'm getting punked by the worker. Like, you gotta, you know, actually, you pick up the cheese and then you hand it to me. Source, dude, just trust me. Anyway, so we went back because the food was great. It was genuinely, like, really good. We were waiting in line for a long time. And it wasn't that busy. Last time it was crazy busy, right? But I put on, like, almost my inner New Yorker for this, because I was like, you know, if you want to play hardball, let's go Kramer versus Kramer. And I'm not talking about the Dustin Hoffman movie. I think is that Dustin Hoffman, Meryl Streep? Or am I thinking of Ordinary People? I think it's Dustin Hoffman, Meryl Streep. Anyway, so, you know, we were in line. And the way it's served, they don't do the number system because that makes too much sense. Instead, what you got to do is you get in line, and then as staff, like, you have one dedicated staff member for the whole time that you're at the deli, you know? You're like, let's move to the cheeses. They take you to the cheeses. You're like, okay, let's go to the pâtés. Let's go to the breads. Let's go to the sausages. Let's go to the dried meats and the cured meats, etc., etc. People in front of us were getting served. Somehow people behind us ended up getting served. We were just kind of in no man's land on this line, right? Finally, the server finishes with the customer in front of me. And then she points at us and says, you guys have been served. Or she actually, you know what she says? And she didn't mean it this way. But she said, you guys don't need help. And then I said, actually, we do. And she looked around and she went, okay. How did that happen? And normally, I think the first time I went to the deli, I think I would have been like, I don't know, this is my first time here. I think I did something wrong. I'm so sorry. Well, maybe piss my pants or something like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. By the way, I'm just taking this one to mom, man. Forget all this alt path mumbo jumbo. We've been there before. Just have fun. So she says, how did that happen? instead of just bowing down to the deli supremacy, I'm being semi-serious. I looked her dead in her eyes and said, "You tell me." And then she kind of like, she was taken aback a little bit. She was like, "Okay, well, like, all right. Are you guys all together?" She was like flustered. She said, "Are you guys all together?" It was me, Kate, and my mom. And I said, "Yeah." And then I'm not proud of this one. I hit her with a little sass. I said, "Is that okay?" I didn't say it with that lilt to it. I'm adding a little extra sauce to it. But I was just letting her know that this time, you know, I wasn't being pushed around, okay? I'm here for the quality of the meats, and all I ask is to be treated as a normal consumer. I don't ask for special treatment or anything like that. I just ask when your own system's inefficiencies lead to you being confused that we haven't been served when you're the one who's supposed to be serving us. Not in a, you know, I'm not trying to make it weird. That's just the client-customer relation, or the provider-client relationship here. Anyway, that got her on the back foot real good. And for the rest of the deli interaction, I was like, I'm in control. It's the first time I've ever felt in control of anything in my entire life. All of us is a dangerous, almost like intoxicating feeling. I can understand how maybe, you know, the boomers, they have a reputation for not being nice to service staff in all situations. And I definitely don't think it's all boomers, but I do think that when I see someone being rude to service staff, there does seem to be a disproportionate amount of them that are like between the ages of 50 and 75 years old. By the way, I'd like to count my mom she's in the 50 to 75 demographic. She's a dear to the service staff. That's must be partly where I got it from. The other one is, I don't know, just having a certain degree of empathy and understanding about the human experience. You know, not trying to make anybody have the worst day of their job or whatever. I took a little bit of offense. You know, you got to think of the context here. I had basically been laughed out of the deli last time. He doesn't know. You got to pick up the manchego, pass it to me, I weigh it, and then tell him how much it is, and then he says, "That's fine," and then I give it back to him. And then this time, their own system is messed up. You could take a number, you could have one person manning, you know, each station in the line, and then you get past, like, relay style or assembly room style or whatever. But no, you know, you decided we're going to roll with this insane system of, and I guess I'm just going down. I'm losing it, man. Of, you know, you get served in order of like when you arrive, but then you have like one sales rep at the deli who's going to be there the whole time, and then, you know, the system sucks, and she's like, "Wow, the system kind of sucks," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, you're telling me. I'm just, you know, I'm spending half my Sunday waiting in line." Then she tries to get one over on me. "Oh, do you have 3 people?" "Yeah, you got a frickin' problem? Give me 2 elk sausages, two bison sausages. I'll take that little block of Tallagio cheese right there, and you know what? I've never seen this before. I'll take a wedge of the black lemon Gouda." Then she said, "Is that all?" And I said, "You tell me." No, I did. I said, "Yes, that's all." And on credit, please. Anyway, I'm half joking, but you can either believe me or not believe me. Like, you know. All I would say on that is we got enough problems on the internet from, like, people, you know, saying innocuous things, and then the world's, you know, most twisted people being like, "Hey, I know you said you like peanut butter. Did you know that my dad works at an almond butter factory that recently had to lay off several thousand workers as a result of the declining popularity of almond butter in the face of alternative nut butters and also cashews? Like, why do you hate my family, you know?" So you got enough problems with people willfully misinterpreting things to make themselves the main character of, you know, every day's discourse, regardless of the avenue of the discourse. That's not great. Thank you, infamy. So, like, you know, you can either believe me or disbelieve me. I'm a good customer, okay? I don't cause problems. I've said it many times before. Even if I go to a restaurant, they serve me the wrong thing, I am like, "Thank you for giving me the opportunity to try something new." I have never sent a meal back, to the best of my knowledge. Well, that's okay. One time at Bolt Castle, which is a tourist destination in very, very upstate New York State. I got a chicken sandwich from the canteen. When I bit into it, it was frozen and pink in the center, and I took it back and I said, hey, my sandwich is frozen and pink in the center. And they said, okay, we'll make you another one. But that, to the best of my memory, is the only time I've ever, you know, been a stick in the mud. And it stuck with me, you know? Like, it's a notable moment in my mind, as you can tell. However, you know, if you're gonna be like the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, and you're gonna be like, we gotta have these protocols, you gotta follow them like 100%, or, you know, you're gonna be derided in the face of all these other discerning customers, you gotta play by your own rules. You introduce an inefficiency into the system that inconveniences me, hey, I'm a very important person, just like you. Give me 300 grams of the pickled head cheese, we'll call it even. That's all I'm saying. You know, what do you get when you cross a society with a socially ill-adjusted loser? You get what you freaking deserve. Honestly, a newfound... What did I get? I got a newfound appreciation for Taleggio cheese, an Italian cheese from the region of Lombardy that is quite pungent in aroma, but the actual flavor very mild, much like a Canadian Oka. Highly recommendable, quite frankly. Now, the black lemon Gouda cheese, I think it has a striking appearance. You don't see too many cheeses that are, you know, pitch black. The taste of it, I don't know. I don't think it's artificially sweetened, but it has kind of like an artificial sweetness to it that I find a little off-putting, but it's also possible that just because it's such a strange flavor, you can really taste the lemon in it, that it's just an adjustment period. I know you can call me Joe Rogan if you want. Look, it's a simple situation. If I'm at a cool butcher shop, thank you. If I'm at a cool butcher shop, and they're like, hey, what do you want to have? The kielbasa or, like, you know, a different animal than you're used to? That's why we're trying some elk sausage, you know? That's why we're trying some bison sausage. If I wanted to just get Johnsonville brats, I'd just roll up to the Real Canadian Superstore. They got, you know, probably like 8 for $10. You gotta buy the buns after that. But, you know, it's not about the buns, okay? It's about the principle. So anyway, that was my Sunday. Saying, hey, you gotta cut me some slack, man. Maybe you're like, this guy's changing. No, man, it's the bomb cyclone. Atmospheric pressure in my head was freaking pounding. Atmospheric missiles were landing on the shore. Pew! It's straight out of Night at the Roxbury. When I heard you, or when I first saw you, you know what I heard? Boo! 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 What the heck is that? That's the sound of the ambulance that came to pick me up, because the sight of you stopped my heart. You think Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan still talk? You think it's one of those things where, like, you know, Will Ferrell is like, you know, he's rising the ranks in Hollywood. Every once in a while, like 2 a.m., Chris Kattan sends him a text that's like, hey, buddy. What is love? Him, me. And Will, you know, he sees it the next morning. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Sorry, I didn't see your text. I'm too busy working on the new Avengers movie. How you doing, man? How's that play thing? How's that one-man show you were doing down at the Largo? How's that? Pretty good. By him, me. I don't know why he's Matthew McConaughey now. All right, buddy. Come. I got 2 tickets with your name on it. Just go see the concierge, buddy. All right. I'm not trying to knock Chris Kattan, okay? Of the two, when I was a child, Chris Kattan was my favorite. I thought Will Ferrell was just kind of like dim-witted, and Chris Kattan, with his, you know, amphetamine-fueled enthusiasm, was destined for superstardom. Plus, you got to remember, you know, you're talking 2003-ish. Chris Kattan has a leading vehicle in the Peter Falk, Chris Penn film, Corky Romano. You guys want some cookies? where he gets electrocuted so hard he turns into a skeleton. I know I've told you this before. One of my favorite... You want me to like a movie? One of the best things you can do, if you want me to like a movie, is throw in a scene where somebody gets electrocuted so hard you can see their bones. It happens. It's common and simultaneously kind of hard to think of instances. The obvious one is in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Marv gets electrocuted so hard he turns into a skeleton. Kevin McAllister honestly belongs in Colorado Supermax prison for some of the stuff that he did in that movie, but we can talk about that as we get closer to the holiday season. Excuse me. Dude, they should make... If they're gonna reboot Home Alone, and they are, and I feel bad because it stars the kid who was like the supporting cast of Jojo Rabbit. I was not particularly fond of Jojo Rabbit. That being said, I thought it was okay. And screw it, dude. I'm going for it. That being said, that kid was really funny. That was a funny kid. But if they're gonna do a Home Alone reboot, I want them to not do it in the cowardly way of like they're gonna leave another child at home. I want to see Kevin McAllister. His spouse has left for 2 weeks for a business trip, and he struggles with bachelor life on his own for the first time in like 15, 20 years. I want to see him eating a dinner of, you know, old French fries and chicken tenders he's reheating in the air fryer. I want to see him drinking a six-pack of Milwaukee's Best, watching Planet Earth on a 4K TV. I want to see him just go for a long walk just to sort of think things through, you know? You could make a good Home Alone movie. You don't have to just immediately go back with the same old, hey, and then he leaves him at home again. Can you believe it? Thursday, what a concept. Yeah, I don't even know what that does. I just popped it immediately on because I'm going off, man. We're on Depths 1. Depths 1. Depths 1, for me, means this is probably a heavy donation run. Which is good. At least we're paying it forward for the future, right? Excuse me. Infamy has been an all-star on this one. I know. Get your game on. Go play. Thank you. But yeah. Wait, what, the Tinted Rock? My brain... Okay, this is hard to describe, okay? My brain did not tell me that it saw a tinted rock. Like, the information did not pass into the, like, visual part of my brain. There was, like, a subconscious trigger that was, like... I don't know how to describe it. I do not remember seeing a tinted rock, but my brain sent me a signal that was like, hey, like, my emotions changed. It was like, there's a tinted rock there. That was weird. Thanks, brain. Big ups. You know, that's... Streamers waking up at 7:30 a.m. for the first time in their entire lives. Bro, my eyes don't work, but my brain is sending me unconscious signals, I'm telling you. Okay, alright, okay, yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, movies where guys get electrocuted and you can see their skeleton. Whoa. Whoa! Anyway. Also, the Deli, yeah. I don't have really that much else to say, honestly. You see Eternals reviews came out? I bring it up not to just be like a Marvel stan, but again, so the reviews for the Eternals, and I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet, or Shang-Chi, but it's, you know, because when it came out, we were still in a little bit of a, you know, a spicy period for COVID, obviously, and also we have like a 1-year-old baby. People will be like, oh, going to the movies is so expensive. Shang-Chi comes out, I don't want to go see it in the theaters. People are like, oh, it's easy. Just pay, I don't know, like $100 for a babysitter. You know, $15 for parking, $40 for the tickets. Maybe you can go out for a nice dinner for... Just spend like $300 to go see this 90-minute movie in the theater. We'll just wait. It's on Disney Plus in like a week and a half, right? I would rather see it in the theater, don't get me wrong. We're just in like a unique period where that's somewhat difficult. Temporarily, okay? For a multitude of reasons. But Eternals reviews are like the most mixed reviews for a Marvel. Let's just call them a little negative, okay? The most mediocre reviews for a Marvel movie since like Thor: The Dark World. That's pretty bad. That's like been a notorious film in the Marvel fandom, you know? Thor 1, Thor 2, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 3, like they're Age of Ultron maybe. They're part of this, you know, kind of like, they were still figuring things out. And now we thought we were past it. Then the Eternals comes out and is getting kind of like a similar response. But I just have to remind myself again that, you know, this movie is, I don't know, it's at like high 60s or something on Rotten Tomatoes, high 50s or low 60s on Metacritic, and then it's the movie that one guy on Twitter was like, you know, I honestly think we should make critics sign an NDA when they see a film, and they could be culpable for the millions of dollars of damage they do if they intentionally leak spoilers. I'm playing with fire because I know I talked about that, but I did not see the response to it. So I might be dredging up something where people were like, bad look, because that's what, you know, you don't, this is not a cancel culture run amok type bit, but, you know, people no longer really like argue your point that much online. If they disagree with you, they just try to shame you. Wow, this is a bad look. Wow, bad take. I got bad take for my mug root beer tweet, man. I said things you'll never see IRL, someone asking for a mug root beer. Lot of people said hilarious, funniest thing I've ever read. Many people are saying this. A lot of people though said, you know, delete this. This is a bad take. You know, this you wouldn't understand. A lot of people are very happy, I guess, with the fact that mug. I didn't realize this in advance, and it changes nothing for me. In fact, if anything, it maybe makes me more negative on it slightly, but that's my own personal cross to bear. They said, hey, did you know? It's like the tiny house thing. Hey, did you know? Before you insult mug, it's naturally caffeine-free. Okay. Don't care, didn't ask. Plus, your favorite restaurant has the today's special painted on the wall in paint. Hey, what's today's special? Oh yeah, 17 years ago we got tired of answering that question, so we just painted it on the wall. There you go. Oh wow, chicken Florentine. Wow, that's timely. Don't care, didn't ask, okay? Wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, mug root beer. I'm just saying, okay? I did drink some mug root beers in my life. My grandparents would always have them in their house because it was part of like the quote-unquote rainbow soda pack that you could buy at the grocery store that had like, you know, 4 cream sodas, 4 root beers, 4 Tahiti treats, and like 4 7-Ups or something. I can't remember the exact branding, but so I have my fair share of mug root beer. I enjoy a root beer. If we're talking about globally available brands, let's do streamer room, man. It's just fun. It's just fun to do the streamer room. It's fun getting into trouble, you know. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Sure. No, him, me. Take me down. If we're talking globally available root beer brands, I think you got to consider, like, you know, A&W, especially if you can get it in the frosted mug. It's close to the top. Just hits different. You know, if a glass bottle is better than an aluminum can, a frosty glass mug is better than a glass bottle. And the root beer, it tastes pretty good, okay? Barks, I think, is, I mean, I don't need to tell you this, I'm sure. It has bite, for one, which is important for me. Because I really do, especially with the soda. If I'm drinking a soda, I want that to be crisp, you know? I want it to have like a... I want it, you know when they are like, you know, they show you what OxyClean can do to your toilet? That's what I want to imagine when the soda touches my larynx. I want to, in my head, there's a bunch of gunk in there, and the soda comes in, and it's just like burning it out. Whether or not that's true or healthy. Secondly, wait, okay, so you got A and W, you got Barks. I'll be honest with you, I have not had a Dad's root beer probably in 22 years. They used to sell it at the San in Napanee, Ontario. What the heck is the San? You don't even... Okay, so it's like... It's a budget... It's like... Imagine if the dollar store was a department store. That's the San. It's like... like Target... It's really for Canadians out there. It's like Zellers, but... like, much, much cheaper. Coincidentally, also one of the only other places in my life that I've ever had, like, a chicken sandwich that was a little bit underdone. But I think I just ate it. Anyway. And you know what? Didn't get sick. Ergo, food poisoning. That got some hot takes on it. Just kidding. Well, yeah, good idea. Walk into the enemy for no reason. Thanks for the item room, though. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, we really shouldn't lose. We have some HP-related foibles right now, but that's it. And a Demon Heart back here is a big help. I just, like... Mug, for whatever reason, is just... It's uninspiring. I feel like it comes pre-flat. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if all the Mug root beer lovers out there, like, they have a soda stream and they just, like, recarbonate their mug before they drink it, because it just, like... It's like it was invented flat or something like that. Like, you gotta bring your own bubbles for that one. I don't know if you've ever had a diet mug root beer. It actually tastes like laundry detergent. Like, or, like, something that you would use to clean, like, a wool shirt back in the Dust Bowl. Like, it's just... I don't knock the soda for the badness of the diet version. I remember, I can't even remember how it came to pass, but, like, typically I try to, you know, I don't drink much soda to begin with, and I try to drink 0-calorie soda when I feel the itch. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll have a diet mug. I was just like, oh! It was like, it was cold, but it had the same mouthfeel as, like, when you leave a can of soda out in the hot sun. And, you know, like, simultaneously you're drinking it, it tastes like a crushed up Tylenol. And also you think, like, you know, you're paranoid that maybe a bee flew into the can and you're gonna end up swallowing a bee and getting stung on your stomach or something like that. It's just a strange feeling of, like, you know, unpleasant flavors and also, you know, deep existential dread. It's, in a way, you've got to, it's almost like they turned, like, anxiety into a beverage. It's very strange. Anyway, I don't even know who makes Mug root beer. I don't know whether that's the Pepsi Corporation or the Coke Corporation. I feel like Pepsi makes Barks, right? Because that's, you see that at the KFC. What? I'm at the Pizza Hut. I'm at the combination KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Long John Silver's. Okay, sure. Yeah, I think that's true. The metal straw makes all the pain go away, though. Oh, man. I don't know why in my head when I got Wheel of Fortune, I was thinking of the Wheel of Fortune theme song, but instead of Wheel of Fortune, I was going, Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune. Spin the wheel of fortune. If you guess a letter, the more of them there are, the better. Buy a vowel, buy a vowel. Spend $2.50 and you buy a vowel. Why would you buy you? You haven't even guessed E yet. Okay, sorry. It was good for a bit. That's a lesson in, like, cutting and running before things get too bad there. You know, anytime you come up with an improvisational song parody, if you get one joke that also rhymes, you should just stop right there, because you're not gonna freestyle the whole song and stand up to those, like, levels of expectation that you've already created at that point. You should just be like, you know, just cut it there and let the audience imagine, like, if he had more time, he could make this work. That's my take on it, at least. That's my 2 cents. How about Abaddon? How about you're fired? I don't know, it just popped into my head. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I've focused for even like half a second on this run. Could really use actually using Drain Heart, huh? That would have been quite helpful for us if I had ever given like even the slightest bit of thought to it. Alas, I didn't. Should still be good, but you know, looks can be deceiving. I'm excited for this week. It's kind of it's a big week. Darkest Dungeon 2 comes out. It's not really like my game. I played Darkest Dungeon 1 when it came to early access. Yes, we want to do this. And we don't want the half heart because we want to try to get Drain Heart to pop. And then I played it again when it came out for reals. Yeah, I say for reals. You got a problem? Then I abandoned that campaign because I got annoyed and frustrated. And then I came back to it, like, you know, years later and actually finished the campaign. Although I think it was on Radiant mode. I'm not one of those people, like, if I could give you a lesson, I don't know if any creators are watching this. I mean, you got to figure out what your brand is, right? And, you know, I think that everybody who does this, with the benefit of, this is why I don't trust people who say they've got, like, no regrets, right? Because with the benefit of hindsight, like, I hate to say it, but if you have no regrets, then you might be a little stupid. Really, like, you, with the knowledge of what came in the future, you're not like, well, geez, I really wish that instead of playing, you know, Bob the Builder Game Boy Color, I wish I'd played God of War that day instead, you know? Who knew? Who knew? Anyway, like, I'm merely trying to suggest, conceptually speaking, I think that, you know, a regret is a natural and, like, mature response to knowing now what you did not know back then. You know, the benefit of hindsight for a lack of foresight. There's a joke in there somewhere, but let's just let it pass. But either way, like, one of the regrets, and there's some, but, you know, nothing, like, too catastrophic, but one of the regrets would be, you know, getting bullied into, and bullied is a bad word for it, but being harangued into, like, letting pride get the better of me. Oh, you gotta, like, yeah, you beaten the game, but you haven't beaten on the highest difficulty level. Yeah, sure, you beaten the game, but you haven't beaten it with the burn. You haven't beaten it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I beat it on Radiant difficulty. Oh, you still haven't 100%ed it with only... Yeah, okay, you know, save that for the Bear Taffies, the Admiral Barus, and the so on and so forth. I got, you know, I got a life to lead here. Not that they don't, I'm just saying, you know, you got to prioritize it within your own hierarchy of needs, right? Magician, Wheel of Fortune. Get rid of Hanged Man, give me Magician. Not everybody can be, like, the hard game guy for every game. You know, at this point, I'm like, you're lucky to see me, like, finish a game to begin with. You're lucky to see me start a game to begin with now. Let's not worry about, you know, when are you going to do it on bloodthirsty difficulty, torchless run, any percent torchless run incoming. So that's, I don't know, I don't think I made a cogent point over that entire rant, which is fine, that's not atypical. But I am excited for Darkest Dungeon 2. You know, it just, I guess where a lot of that was coming from is it gets annoying when people are like, you're not the Darkest Dungeon guy. And you're like, well, you know, I played, I don't know, probably like 130 hours of the game, but I guess I didn't play like 800, so screw me. So I guess I can't be excited for something that's probably only in my top 10 most played games of all time. My mistake. I forgot. You're only allowed to be like a one-game Marty for the rest of your life. I don't even... Well, I'm a two-game Marty as we speak here. Had some incredible Super Auto Pets games this weekend. Nope. Thanks for the HP. That's very valuable, this Drain Heart. Thank you so much. Now, that's just it. Okay, PhD is good. Everything else here is an actual slap in the face. Okay, PhD was fine. Everything else here was a slap in the face. I don't know what I'm looking for. I guess I'm just going to blow you up. I don't know why I thought... I always think that that's going to be... oh, conjoined. I always think that it's going to be an item when I blow up the slot machine. I don't know if it was ever true. If it was true, it was probably like in, 2014 for a minute before they hotfixed it and then removed all of the birthright effects and said we'll get to it later. Source dude, just trust me. Question mark card. He'd make outrageous claims, by the way, like that he invented the question mark. That was pretty much it for my weekend. I stood up for myself in the deli. I really did feel like a Tim Robinson character. Like, I was like the deli Chad. I've never fought for anything in my whole life. I'm fighting for this sausage. Also, and, this is very, like, local specific, okay? So I think this is only in the Vancouver area right now, but I know they are, if not franchising, at least they're expanding. There is a sushi restaurant that is now maybe multiple locations in Vancouver, and it's called Hello Nori. I'm almost loath to blow up the spot, okay? Because it's still, like, not that busy. If you go at, like, rush hours, you might be waiting half an hour, which is pretty typical. If you go at, like, off-peak hours, usually they're like, yeah, even with the stroller, we're like, hey, can we get a table? And they're like, yeah, sure. So what's the conceit of this sushi restaurant? What makes it somewhat special? The sushi exists in the mid-tier. Between cheap sushi that's decent, because you can get that here, and expensive sushi that's amazing. So it's not the absolute best quality sushi I've ever had, but it's really good. It's a cut above, your average sushi restaurant, even here. You pay for it, by the way. It's a little bit more expensive. But not like, double. In most cases, at least. It depends what you're getting. And certainly much cheaper than the really expensive, like, fancy sushi places that are also quite popular. So it exists in that kind of like a genuine stratified mid-tier, which is nice. It's an unoccupied niche, but then they've got almost like a cool gimmick. So it's all, like, counter service. You order, off of, like a checklist, basically. You hand your checklist to your server/chef. Then they make it, and they just put it on the sushi counter right in front of you as it's ready. I know this is not atypical, but it's somewhat atypical to have an entire restaurant themed around it and have this be like their tight conceit. And it's all hand rolls. So it's not like large sushi rolls. It's like handheld, maybe 2 or 3 bites per roll. Really, decent quality. The seaweed is nice and crispy instead of being, just a structural wrapper. Anytime we are like... And it only opened recently, but anytime we've had people, like, in town, family in town, if they like sushi, we're like, we're going to take you to Hello Nori, because it's something, I'm not saying you can't get it anywhere else in the world, but it's kind of a unique experience, at least within Vancouver. And it's got a lot, I'm putting my hat in the ring. If you see a Hello Nori, I would recommend it. Don't tell them I sent you. I would prefer to remain anonymous when dining there. It's got a lot to like. Good quality food. You order whatever you want. They bring it right to your table as soon as it's ready. You're not waiting around for everybody's food to be ready at the same time. And front to back, the whole meal probably takes about 40 minutes at most. I love it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.